Hey women, happy Friday! I almost said TGIF just because it's so automatic, but you know, the thing that I think we're talking about here this week is having every day be TGIF, right? I'm never any happier that it's Friday than I am that it's Monday or Tuesday or Saturday or Sunday. And one of the things that I've seen in each of your visions is for you to really wake up loving your day, whether it's a work day or a play day, or ideally a mix of both. So TGIF, but you know, TGIM and TGI2T, and you know, let's find ways to keep this going. So many of you have talked through the week about how you wanted this community to continue, and I'm already getting questions about what's going to happen to the group. But before I go into that, I want to say that I had such a wonderful time talking with those of you who showed up live on the call yesterday. It was really, really great simply to hear your voices, but your questions were also amazing and really, really, really deep, wise questions, and I loved answering them, and I loved hearing what you were thinking, and I especially loved the women who emailed me afterwards and were like, I'm ready, let's talk, let's do this. So I want to say a couple of things in wrapping up this week, because I think that one of the things that I used to suffer from was getting really, really into something and really committed and being like, okay, like I get it, I see it so clearly, this is what I need to do, and this is going to happen if I can commit to this and do this, and I feel good and I feel motivated and I feel strong. And that would work for a couple days, and then on the fourth or fifth day I'd like forget to do something, and I'd be like, oh, see, I'm already forgetting pieces. I'm already like not sticking to this. I'm already, you know, letting pieces slip or letting balls fall. And then the next day I'd forget a couple more pieces and I'd be like, look at that. Like, I'm already fucking this up. I am not someone who can stick to structure. I'm not someone who can stay focused. I'm not someone who can get what I want. And this is sort of the thing that happens with New Year's resolutions, which is one of the reasons why I don't love them and I never make them. It's that our intentions are really good and we get really excited and motivated by something. But if we don't keep the source of that motivation, it's very difficult to keep the actions going. And then what happens is that we feel like crap and we tell ourselves stories about why it didn't work for us to keep the actions going. So from almost every single one of you, I've seen that this week has provided you with a degree of focus and clarity and support and structure and community and questions from me that really get you thinking about the heart of what's happening for you and what you want. And a lot of you want that to continue. And I talked a little bit about what stood in the way of doing this work, at least for me, a couple of videos ago. But what I really want to say to you is that for some of you, this week will be enough. This will be enough for you. You'll have enough to go on. You're going to kind of coast. You know, you're going to see what comes out of it. And that's totally fine. That's where you are in your business. For some of you, you're already thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want this motivation to end. I don't want this focus in this community to end. And you're thinking about talking to me, about continuing, or you're thinking about talking to someone about getting some kind of serious committed support, not just like a friend who checks in on you, but someone who's really going to seriously support you and give you motivation and tools for everyday recommitting. And if you're anything like me, I'll tell you what's happening because it's what would have happened for me. I would have acknowledged that I needed all those things, and then I would have said, you know what though? What if I spend this money and nothing happens? What if I spend this money and I don't make it happen? Why can't I just do this by myself? Why don't I save the money and do it by myself, right? That's a really good idea. I'm smart. I'm motivated. I can totally keep this going. I see what she did here. I can totally keep this going. And I'll tell you why I don't want you to do that. Whether or not you wind up talking to me or you find another source of support and structure. I don't want you doing that because there's a reason that what you're doing hasn't worked so far. And the fact of the matter is that your work deserves support and you deserve support. And for all of us, Oprah included, to take it to the next level, We need support. So the definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing and expecting different results. If you're going to come off of this week and go back to doing things the way that you were, the same thing is going to happen. And this is the part that I hate. What's going to happen is that then you're going to tell yourself, to some degree or another, the story of why you suck. That's what I call it. It's the story of why you suck. You're too disorganized. You're too unfocused. You don't know your shit. No one's going to buy what you want to be selling, or no one's going to value how you want to be serving. You can't get it together. You don't know how to focus. You can't structure your time. There isn't enough time for everything. And those things aren't true. They're not true. And then you're going to feel badly, and you're going to be exactly where you were when you decided to do this week. And I don't want that for you. And I know that that's where I would have been if I hadn't gotten support. And I'll confide in you that when I first found my life coach, who is now my business coach, I've stayed with her for 7 years as she went from life coach to business coach the same way I did. When I first found her, I was so miserable that I knew that things had to change. And I knew that for them to change, I really had to do something differently this time, because I had tried so many other things and they hadn't worked, and I still felt like crap about myself, and I was still miserable. So I committed to working with her, and it was terrifying, because I think what happened was that I had the first month's payment, and then I had no other money after that. And I told her, I was like, I'm going to be really transparent with you. Here's the first month's payment, and I don't have a plan for how the next month's payment is going to come. And she just kind of smiled at me. She'd known me for a little while, and she was like, I'm not worried. And I was like, all right, if you're not worried, I'm not worried. And the second month's payment was late, and the third month's payment was late. The fourth month's payment, I'm pretty sure, was on time. And now they're always on time. And often I pay her ahead because the money is sitting there. So, and this is what happens when women commit to support. You will make it happen. It will happen. The work that you're doing will pay off. And I'm sure enough of that to say that to you, because I see it happen all the time. And many of my clients can tell you similar stories. So what I had talked to you about yesterday in the live call was this 14-week group program that I have, the Authentically Audacious Leadership Program. It is a continuation of the work that you've done this week. It's a community on Facebook that you'll roll into. It's 14 topics that start with inner wisdom, your business GPS, go to creating your mission and vision statement, something that we've talked about repeatedly here, being clear about what you're doing and why. This is where you choose your path and focus. Then going to heart-centered priorities and creating sacred structure so that everything that you want to be doing in your week, work, play, rest, dates, self-care, family, they all have their space, and you have boundaries around what's happening when. We talk about creating healthy boundaries, about doing the work to get visible, about taking your inner critic voice and retraining your brain to hear something different, about how to market yourself without feeling like a dirty used car salesman. So many of the pieces that we've talked about this week, and all with clarity and structure and support. So here's the thing. The entire program is described on the programs page of www.inarmscoaching.com. If this is pricking up your ears, if you know that you don't want to just go back to the way that things were after this week, I'm inviting you to talk with me. Tell me you want to call, and you and I will talk about AALP. You'll tell me where you are. I'll tell you what I think, and we'll decide if AALP can serve you. Maybe it can, maybe it can't where you are. But I'm inviting 5 women to just have a conversation with me, no strings attached, a free catalyst call. You can ask for it and say, hot damn, I'm in, by writing to me at inarmscoaching.com, BRITT@inarmscoaching.com, and we'll figure out where to go from there. Because what you know is that right now what you have isn't working. So let's talk about it and see if this is something that would work for you. and we'll go from there. For now, your last piece of homework, and by the way, I'm going to leave this group up till Sunday so that those of you who need to catch up on the assignments can. For now, your last piece of homework is what is the step that you want to take, that you want to commit to from this week for making what you want happen. One step. It doesn't have to be talking to me. I would love to talk to really everyone that I've seen posting. I know that I can help and AALP can help. But one step that you're going to be taking from this week to support yourself for moving forward in a committed fashion with persistent and consistent action. Okay, I'll see you on Facebook. Have a great day.